Hello everybody, it is I, You2Cool, back again, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Pat Traxson and Jeff Gorvette 2-pack from 2026. Okay, there's a lot to unpack with this 2-pack and just the weirdness surrounding it. Pat Traxson is the Cars 3 pace car. Seen primarily at the Florida 500, although I believe Pat also appears at the LA Speedway sequence, when McQueen crashes. I'm not entirely sure on that, though. And Jeff Gorvette appears in Cars 3, but is depicted in his World Grand Prix paint job from Cars 2. This is what he looks like when he enters the World Grand Prix. In Cars 3 has a different paint job where the World Grand Prix logos are all, removed, and his American flag is replaced with just generic flames. A reference to one of Jeff Gorvette's cars, I believe. This 2-pack is very concerning because of the fact that it includes a Cars 3 character and a Cars 2 diecast, although Jeff does appear in Cars 3. So my personal theory is that since this was being developed alongside the return of other World Grand Prix racers, such as Nigel Gearsley, Raul Cerul, Carlo Veloso, and of course Francesco Bernoulli. So that pretty much makes it so that they had a choice. Either do Jeff Gorvette as a Cars 2 item or as a Cars 3 item. They leaned Cars 2 so that they could put him in a 5-pack, I believe. I'm not saying this with absolute certainty. I'm just speculating because I think it makes sense that a toy company like Mattel would be like, hey, we can just make one version Jeff Gorvette and just pack it in. Similar logic was applied to another 2-pack that's coming out this year, Maddie McGear and McQueen, although that one was updated versus Jeff Gorvette, which sadly wasn't. That's why I didn't buy this 2-pack for a while. I've seen it a couple times, but ultimately I caved because I really like the Cars 3 staff members, and I don't have a diecast Jeff Gorvette. I've only had the color changer for the past 3 years, so yeah. Pat Traxson accidentally misspelled his Traxson on the poster. Fun fact, did you know Jeff Gorvette is the only Cars 2 item to be in a 2-pack since 2022? Yeah, this is the first time a Cars 2 diecast has been in a 2-pack since 2022. That is an insane revelation. And really just sad because I miss Cars 2 2-packs. There used to be so many good Cars 2 2-packs. Now there's like none. Like even something as basic as like Jeff and his pity would have been really good. But I'm glad we got Pat Traxson back, even if honestly I think Pat was a really unnecessary item this year. Like, Pat's not a super notable character. But I guess we are doing a bit of a Florida 500 theming this year. Over here, we have the Mater and Tractor with Tire and Mouth 2-pack, as well as McQueen and Tex, which I did see. I do kind of wish I'd gotten this, because I think the new, variants of them look pretty good, but, yeah. Tex's prototype is really interesting. It has covered rims, which the China version never did. But also, a mirror is missing. I don't know what that's about. All right, enough preamble. Let's get on with this. And here they are out of the package. I think I'm going to do chronological. So I'm going to start with Jeff. I feel like there's a lot less to talk about with him. Jeff previously had a rally race variant back in 2025. That was last year. I don't know. I was struggling to remember that. His mouth looks a little misprinted. That's just bad quality control, though. I had no control over that. Or I guess I did, because I think I said a second. I think there were only 2 of this pack, so clearly this is doing well. The reason I want to get this iteration of the 2-pack and not the re-release that's coming out later is because this is actually a version of Jeff without eyeliner. So a lot of the, Thailand cars and newer China releases are continuing the eyeshadow sort of art style that they've been doing for a while now. Jeff is one of the few cars to break that rule, and I find that very interesting. This is very on par with, a 2016 Jeff Gorvette diecast. Anyways, here is his Gorvette logo. It's not really detailed. You know what's funny is I actually saw a Gorvette in the parking lot. It was the exact shade of yellow as Jeff here. Jeff is a little orange in person. like a bit of a mango kind of yellow, whereas on camera it's a lot closer to the movie where it's a bright neon kind of yellow. So yeah, I've had his color changer since 2024. It was the first new 2024 item I got. It's one of the first new items from that year I got. And I love it, but it is really cool having the original Jeff Gorvette diecast. So I think I'm going to keep it, though, just because I do like this color changer. I think it's so novel. We got a World Grand Prix racer color changer, right? That like never happens nowadays. There's so many other Corvettes in the Cars universe, but Mattel refuses to make those. I think it'd be really nice if we got one of the ones from Cars on the Road without the spoiler. That'd be nice. World Grand Prix number 24. Of course, he's a reference to Jeff Gordon. The iconic backlights. Yeah, you can sort of tell where the color changer is more printed. The color changer is made in Vietnam. This is made in China, of course. And here is a look at the base. Corvette. Netherlands. So this actually makes it so that the last World Grand Prix racer I need is Max Schnell of all characters, which is going to be really interesting. I'm planning on getting his Thailand variant because I think it looks really good. But, you know, I'll wait and see. All right, now to move on to Pat Traxson, who's going to be very interesting. Now, on the surface, Pat Traxson may look like a repaint of Rod Torque Redline from Cars 2, but actually no, they are different. And I think I may have just realized this because, like Jeff, I saw the real life car of this today. I don't think Pat Traxson's meant to be a Dodge Challenger. I think Pat is meant to be a Mustang. Because I saw a Mustang with like a very similar front grille to this, and it was also white. So bonus points, it kind of looked like Pat Traxson in real life. So very, you know, good timing that I got this 2-pack when I did. But yeah, very similar. Let's look at Pat Traxson herself, or himself, I think. I can't remember. I personally see Pat Traxson as a girl, but I think it is meant to be a male character. I just think, you know, Patricia Traxson is really cool. It reminds me of my middle school. There was like a security guard in middle school. She was a nice old lady, even though she was weird about my wearing hats. I like hats. Piston Cup, official pace car. Yeah, so same rims as Rod Torque Redline. Oh, wait, I forgot about this license plate. I have not heard anyone talk about Pat Traxson in a long time. Pat's one of the cars that's like out enough to be like, oh, wait, is that the Dynaco 400? What is that doing there? Is this on all versions of Pat Traxson? Why is there a Dynaco logo on the back? That's so silly. What? And it also looks like a misprint. Oh, man. Oh, well. It is what it is, I guess. But that's really funny. I am fast. Little antenna. Yeah, so Mike 07 came out, and unfortunately I haven't been able to get Mike 07. I'm really hoping to get Mike before the year ends, because he is probably one of the coolest re-releases, just on principle, even if it does suck that Didi's not out. I'm hoping maybe he gets brought back next year, but I don't know. So yeah, again, Pat, very similar to Rod Torque Redline, but I don't quite think it's meant to be the same car. I think it's slightly different enough to not be the same thing. So yeah. You know what would be cool? I should use this to make like a custom Stinger. Like if I get like a spare Pat Traxson, I would love to like turn this into like Stinger. Like the other one. Gonna quickly compare Pat to Charlie Checker, the pace car from Cars 1. Very different vibes. The Cars 3 Race Division 17. No. I'm saying because these two are the reason I decided to kick off my Cars 3 race staff collection. Because I like how Adam and Morgan look next to each other. I think it'd be cool to get more of them. I'm probably never going to get Stu Snyder shields, but I do want to get a couple more. I'm aiming for Tiny Lugsworth and Chris Revstovsky. I missed out on Chris, and I think I'm going to get the Chris and I'm either going to get, like, Chris with white flag and, like, a lot, or, like, get her with M Fast Fong. Whatever heck comes first. So, yeah, there's the Piston Cup logos. You definitely tell how much more, like, this feels like a very Cars 3 item, whereas this feels like a very Cars 1 item. Pardon the audio in the background, if you can hear it. There's some stuff going on. A movie, not in real life, obviously. Yeah. That is all I have to say about Pat Traxson. Yeah, I'm going to go put her next to Adam and Morgan and see how it looks. It looks really cool, actually. I like this. So, overall, is this 2-pack good, even though it comes with even though this is probably the biggest blunder Mattel has done in recent time? Honestly, I still think this is a good value pack, just on principle. Jeff hasn't been out since 2023, and it was like only in one case that year. And you know, they haven't done Pat Traxson too much in recent times, so it's not a bad pack. I just really wish they hadn't gone the route of doing this. I would have just scrapped Pat and put Jeff as like a single instead of Raul Cerul. I think Raul Cerul is probably like one of the worst re-releases of this year. Who was asking for another Raul Cerul single? Nobody likes that guy. But overall, I'm happy that I have these two finally. It's really cool having another World Grand Prix diecast. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I shall see you all around. Bye-bye!